Okay, two questions we're going to take a look at right now. First one is, you have a 2-acre duck ranch, and duck farming was a huge thing on Long Island many years ago. So you have a 2-acre duck ranch, and I want to find out how large of a building can I put on site. So where would you even start with something like this? So let me take you through the whole process of what you should do. Okay, first of all, you got to go to General Code. That is your location where you're going to find everything you need with zoning code. So go to the code library. Under the code library, you pick out what state you're in. Hopefully you remember you're in New York State. And then we're going to find Town of Brookhaven. So Town of Brookhaven, you can scroll down through here, click on Brookhaven. Now once you're into there, and you now want to start looking for duck ranches, you have roughly 4,000 pages of law to go through. Not really going to be something that's very useful to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to use the search bar to help you out a little bit. So let's get my keyboard back together. All right, so if we type in duck, all right, probably even ranch might even be a little bit better, but it's duck. Let's see what pops up. Perfect, duck ranches. Okay, so it's going to show up in a bunch of these searches, and you're going to have to figure out which one you want to look at. So in this case, we have duck ranch 85 zoning. That sounds good, but don't jump at the first thing you see. Read, read, read. This is just the definition of it. We have agricultural zoning. Okay, fewer than 6 ducks or geese. That's under general provisions of, again, definitions. Permitted uses. That's going to be under a business district. Okay, that might be something that's good. And then we have agricultural. That's, again, definition. So business districts, I like this one. Let's try that. So it turns out, to clear this out, it turns out that duck ranches are permitted in the K business district. Who knew? So what else can you do there? You can have boathouses, open farming and agricultural, such as poultry, nurseries, greenhouses, and such, duck ranches. And then all the accessory uses permitted in the A residence district. Okay, so that's what's allowed in the K district. Dimensional criteria. First of all, the lot must be a minimum of 22,500 square feet. We're dealing with 2 acres, so we're in excess of that. That's fine. We have a minimum lot width, a front yard setback, a side yard setback, a rear yard setback, floor area ratio, 20%. That's my number. Okay, so I'm going to go back into that. And let's see. I have a 2 acre. My FAR is 20%, which means I can take 2 acres times 43,560 square feet per acre times 20%. 2 times 43,560 times 0.2. My building can be 17,424 square feet. There you go. That's how big of a building you can put on that site. That's what's permitted. It does not mean you can actually fit it on the building, on the site, because of all the other things we spoke about. You got to make sure that a building that size will meet the criteria for the health department. You're going to have parking issues you have to think about. You have landscaping issues, but just from a floor to area ratio, that's fine. Okay, keeping on the idea of birds, let's ask another question here. How many pigeons can I keep on a 20,000 square foot lot? So let's go into that search bar and see what we can come up with. Pigeons. All right. So chapter 10, feeding of waterfowl. That's not going to do it. Feeding of waterfowl. Don't feed the pigeons. Don't feed the pigeons. Animals. That's an 85. That's a zoning code. That's a possibility. And more, don't feed the pigeons. So the town's really big on you not feeding pigeons and ducks. So that's it. There's our zoning. So we'll look at animals and see what it has to say. So I'm going to start at the top because, again, if you just go by the search, if you just search out the word, you're going to miss something. So it says here under animals in zoning, no building structure or premise shall be erected, altered, or used in any residence district for the housing or harboring of swine, goats, foxes, or mink. So no pigs, goats, or fur-bearing animals without a special permit. Let's see what else. No buildings should be used for housing of fowl or domestic animals other than dogs and cats, and must be 50 feet from a lot line. Horses or equines. So horses, we're dealing with, what's some important stuff on this? We have, you cannot board or rent horses on the property. Your property must be at least 40,000 square feet and no more than 2 horses on a 40,000 square foot lot. Barns and stables, corrals, a whole bunch of stuff in here. Pigeons, here we go. The housing or harboring of pigeons is permitted in any residential district. So your neighbors can have pigeons or you could have pigeons. Pigeons must be kept securely confined in lofts except during periods or for training or races. You can't exercise them for more than 2 hours a day. And on holidays and weekends, don't have them out for more than an hour. You must clean your pigeons once a day. And pigeon waste must be stored in metal containers, rodent-proof containers. And you need to have at least 1 square foot of floor space for each pigeon that you keep. How many pigeons are you going to have? Let's see. Here, maximum number of pigeons. There we go. The maximum number of pigeons or harbage shall not exceed 50 for 1/3 of an acre lot, or 100 for lots exceeding 1/3 acre but less than an acre in area, and a maximum of 200 for a 1 acre lot. So 20,000 square feet is roughly a ½ acre. So we're looking at, we have 100 pigeons. It's a lot of pigeons. All right, that's my answer. 100 pigeons. All right, let me just double check I'm not missing anything else, because there's always little things that we might have in there. Need permits. All right, that's it. We're good. Okay, let's take a look at some more problems. Okay, we're going to take a look at Simon's Daycare Center. I have a 45,000 square foot piece of property and a 3,000 square foot house that I'm going to turn into a daycare center. So I want to know a couple things. I want to know, first of all, how many kids can I stick in this house? And then how much parking am I going to need for this? So we're going to look at number of kids. And then parking. Okay, 2 things I'm going to get out of this. So I'm going to jump over into my zoning code, and I'm going to look up daycare facilities, which actually falls under the residence districts. You can do it through the search bar, or you can use that sheet that I gave you. I'll show you where that is real quick. Zoning. There we go. This document you have in the folder gives you the listing of all the different areas, of the different code numbers that you can look up. So let's see, daycare would be 85-259. 85-259, perfect. Okay, so let's see, how many kids can I have in my little daycare center? It says in residence districts, minimum lot area is 1 acre for 30 kids. So 45,000 square feet, that is 1 acre. So I can have at least 30 kids. And for each additional person, I can increase by 1,500 square feet. I can get extras. Perfect. More money. Okay. So 45,000 square feet minus 43,560. 45,000 divided by 43560. Not divided by, subtract. 45,000 minus 43560 is 1440. So I can get like 7/8 of a kid. Can't do that. So I think I'm going to be stuck with only 30 kids. I would probably, honestly, with this, I'd go to the town and ask them, say, hey, I'm close. Could I go to 31? But I'm not going to tell you that we can round up, because I honestly don't know the answer to that. I know with my experience with the town, they generally round down and not in your favor. So we'll just stick with 30 kids based on a 1 acre lot. Okay, how about the number of parking spaces on here? 2 places we're going to look. First of all, since I'm reading the entire daycare facility part, what I'm going to see in here is it says, I just had it before. Where was it? Okay, here we go. Off-street parking. 1 parking space for each 400 square feet of total area. Okay, plus safe place to load and unload. So one per 400. So for the parking, that would be 3,000 square feet. It's based on the size of the house divided by 400 square feet per spot. I would need to have 3,000 divided by 400. I need to have 7.5 or 8 spots on there. So 8 spots for parking. We'll just check one other spot, one other area. Okay, let's look at where parking is. Parking is all the way under land use legislation, zoning. It's towards the bottom. I think it was like 850 if I remember correctly. I might be off on that. Oh, not too bad. Okay, 850 is parking. Table of parking requirements is 852. Let's see what it says for daycare centers. So my use, agriculture, airport, adult, art, assembly, bank. Keep going down. Daycare. Daycare facility, including adult daycare, 1 per 400. Okay, so we were good. You want to check it in all the different possible areas to make sure there's no difference between there. So with zoning, it all comes down to searching out the terms, reading the section in there, and then doing the simple math that they have based on the what the question is going to ask. You know, parking, floor area ratio, offsets, items like that.